Good afternoon, basketball fans. I'm Tom Smith. I'm here with girls varsity coach Joe Smith. It's halftime of the JV game against the Crawfordsville Athenians, and the Plugs lead 21-7 in the JV game. Coach, let's talk about today's game against Crawfordsville. Talk a little bit about what you know from scouting reports and so on about Crawfordsville's basketball team.
Well, they've played a lot of man-to-man, but I have a fear they're not going to do that to us today. They've played some 1-2-2 and some 3-2 zone, which we've gotten better at executing against that. They'll play some 1-3-1 extended trap. It's kind of a funky little thing. Their point girl get all the way beyond the half-court line, which you don't see very often. Right. So they play extremely hard. I think they play harder than Edinburgh does, and that's who we beat earlier this week. But, man, Edinburgh just played all the way to the Final Horn. And I think this team is a little bit more skilled than Edinburgh. I think they play harder. 22 for them, Shea Williamson, she's a player. And if she plays well, they usually do. So we'll put Chloe Ellett will start on her tonight or this afternoon. Camille will guard her a little bit as well. They run a lot of sets. They don't run a lot of offense. It's a lot of slow. I wouldn't say they slow it down, but when they have to get into something, they run sets more than they do offense. Now they'll run some 4-out stuff, but we're going to try some stuff defensively. We've put in we've worked on it a little bit in some games, but we put in a 2-1-2 full court press. So we're going to try that today. We're going to play some 3-2. We're going to play some man. But tempo will be big for us. It always is. If we can get up and down the floor, we'll be okay. We scored on 60% of our possessions against Edinburgh. And in the season, we're scoring about 48% of the time when we have the basketball. So Kyle Brown, one of our assistants, does a good job of charting that for us. And so we're getting better offensively. Our kids are starting to play. And as you know, I hate to say it because we don't talk to our kids about it, but we are young. We got 2 seniors, and the rest are freshmen and sophomores. We have no juniors that are playing. So, but our seniors have done a really good job. Melinda Bryan will start. She's been out of the lineup for a little bit, not a month, but a few weeks. But she played extremely well in our last game and has practiced really well this week. So we're going to give her that nod again today and get her senior leadership out on the floor.
I noticed in your game against Edinburgh this past week, she hit some threes, and she's a streak shooter that she can hit 3 or 4 in a row, which would be good. Camille obviously is the one all season long who makes you go.
Yep.
She's very unselfish. I understand Franklin maybe next year basketball at Franklin.
Yep, it looks like that's where she's going to go. She's decided she wants to be an athletic trainer, like at a sports team, whether that's at the high school level or professional level. That's what she wants to major in. She's going to go to Franklin College next year. They've recruited her pretty well. And we're actually taking the team to watch Franklin play next Wednesday night after practice. So it'll be nice to get her on campus again. She loves the small atmosphere there, and of course having Maddie Barnes there doesn't hurt either. So Maddie's, been kind of instrumental in getting her there, and I think Camille will be a really good player at Franklin.
So the keys, as you see it today, is our ability to control tempo of the game?
Yeah, we got to control tempo, but, I told the kids we've got 3 keys on our scouting report, but I can really boil it down to one thing. We cannot let them penetrate and get in the lane with 2 feet because they're pretty good at attacking the glass and finding open shooters or the open post player. And 22 does a good job of that. They've got some other good players too, but 22's averaging in double figures for them. So
she's their leading scorer and their leading rebounder.
Right, and she's an emotional
shortest starter.
Yeah, and she's an emotional leader for them as well. And you'll see that today. I think we've seen them play twice in person and seen them a few other times on film. So 0 is a solid player for them. 13 is. 21 and 23 will start for them as well, but I think if we can limit their guards and our pressure's been really good. Our kids have bought into defensive side. We talk a lot about how our defense leads to offense, and our kids have bought into that, so it's nice.
Let's talk a little bit about, I know your record is 10-4 right now. Where do you see yourself if you'd looked at the beginning of the season and said, here's where we want to be at this point in time? Are there places you're not there yet, you're there and they're ahead of expectations, or where are you in that scheme?
I think we've got some individual players that are better right now than I thought they'd even be at the end of the season. So individually, I think we've got some kids that are, farther along, like I said. I'd say as a whole, I don't think we're playing our best basketball yet, which is a good thing. We want that to happen in February when the state tournament starts. Defensively, we're much better than I thought we would be. Our sophomore group, and Audrey Wendell is a freshman, and Genesis Austin's a freshman, and they're contributing for us. And sometimes Coach Brown and I a lot will, in practice, be like, oh, my gosh, they're so good. They don't even – and I don't think they know they are.
Right.
But all our kids – and we have Michaela Hall, one of our assistants, said today, she goes, it's so interesting because she said there's not many teams that get along as well as our kids do. There's not a whole lot of cliques on the team, and it's fun to be around them. And our kids have really bought in, and they are good kids, and we got some of our JV kids have really developed as well too. So, and as you know, I mean, you don't want to talk about next season, but we got to have those kids develop. And they have done a good job of accepting their roles, and sometimes those roles change, and they have for some kids.
Right.
So yeah, I think overall I'm pretty happy with where we're at. We're going for our 11th win, and we always tell the kids, if you can win 10 to 12 games every year, that's what you should do.
Right.
And anything you get to 15 wins, man, that's pretty good. And anything above that's icing on the cake. So, but we're confident in our kids. I trust them on the floor more so than I did even a couple weeks ago. And we're letting Camille make calls on the floor rather than me making those things on the sideline. So I think she's matured in that she's not as hesitant as she used to be. But I said, just trust your instincts because, like we tell all our kids, play on instinct. Don't be robots.
Right.
And I think they've done a good job of that.
I know you've got a game coming up that we're going to do on TV on Thursday night, I believe, this week. Talk a little bit about, and I know you don't look ahead, but talk about this coming week's games.
Sheridan will be a tough one for us. They're pretty good, but it's a good test for us, and I think we're absolutely good enough to beat them and play with them. But they're, you hate to say ratings and all that, but they are a little bit higher rated than us. But they've got some players. They've got two freshmen that lead them, one of which scores 19 a game, and the other one scores about 12 a game as a freshman. And they're really carrying them, and their coach is just a really hard-nosed defensive. They remind me a lot of the way we play. Playing them at home will help. But we'll play them on Thursday here, and then we'll go on the road next Saturday for a conference game at Beech Grove. And we're playing for, you hate to bank on other people, but we were undefeated in the conference going into Triton Central. We got beat. And they're good. They're very good. So now we're kind of hoping somebody might beat them along the way. But, we're really banking on beating Beech Grove next week in the conference to stay in second place. Then we'll have Lutheran, and we'll finish up the last game of the season against Cascade, which is very good. But we play them at home on senior night, and I tell our kids, don't discount what we're capable of. A couple years ago, Cascade came in as the 5th-ranked team in the state, and we beat them on our home floor on senior night. So maybe somebody can get Triton Central in there, and maybe we'll have a share of the conference. But I said, now you got to win out. To do that. So we've got some pretty big games coming up, and I like where we're at right now.
Well, good luck today, and we will look forward to talking to you after the game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be right back with the start of tonight's game. Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome back to Morris Pollard Gymnasium and Speedway High School for this afternoon's basketball game between our host Speedway ladies Sparkplugs and the ladies from Crawfordsville, the Athenians. Crawfordsville Athenians. The Athenians enter today's game with a record up to this point in the season of 4-10. Their starting lineup will consist of Olivia Reed, number 12, a 5'4" senior guard. At forward, number 13, Kirsten Hutchins, a 5'7" senior forward. Also on the starting lineup for the Athenians is guard number 21, Liddy McCarty, a 5'5" senior. Leading scorer, number 22 for the Crawfordsville Athenians, is Shea Williamson, a 5'4" senior. She's leading scorer and also the leading rebounder for the Athenians. And rounding out the starting lineup, number 23, Taylor Abson, a forward, a 5'9" sophomore. So the Athenians will start 4 seniors and 1 sophomore. As if you were here when we talked to Coach Joe Smith a moment ago, he said the key to their team is Shea Williamson, although they have some other good players. Shea, a 5'4" senior, once again the leading scorer and leading rebounder for the Lady Athenians. For the Speedway Sparkplugs, their starting lineup tonight, a 5'6" senior, number 4, Melinda Bryant. Also starting, a 5'4" sophomore, Chloe Elliott. Chloe is number 10. Number 11, Daniela Galvez, a 5'9" sophomore, who is the leading rebounder for the Sparkplugs at 7.1 rebounds per game. Camille Perry, the one that makes the Sparkplugs go, is number 23. She's a senior guard, 5'6". We talked about with Coach Smith in the pregame. She'll be attending Franklin College next year, Franklin University now, to play basketball there. She's averaging 11.4 points per game and 5.4 assists per game. So she's the one that, as Camille goes, so go the Sparkplugs. And number 32, Alex Delisle, will round out the starting lineup. She's a 5'11" sophomore, the second leading scorer in the Sparkplugs, averaging 11.3 points per game. So the Sparkplugs will start 2 seniors, 3 sophomores. Their record at the present time is 10-4. Might mention that Crawfordsville has played a tough schedule up to this point, and we'll see if that plays a part in today's basketball game. I'll be joined later by Dan Mazzariu, one of our assistant boys coaches. Coach Ron Probst, who's usually doing the games with me, is home and had tested over a week ago for positive for COVID, but wanted to stay away to not put anyone at risk here, and we appreciate that. I want to give a shout out real quick to Miley Walton. Miley Walton on our JV team scored 20 points today in a 39-22 victory. Unfortunately, parents both home ill, not able to be here, but Miley scored 20 of the Sparkplugs' 39 points and led them to a victory over the JV Crawfordsville Athenians. I want to also give a shout out to our high school pep band under the direction of Amy Mole, who played at last night's boys game and is here again on Saturday afternoon, full of spirit. Games always seem to have more spirit and uptick when the band is here, and we certainly appreciate all the efforts of these kids as well as Amy Mole. Now to your public address announcer, John Dalcarobo.
This afternoon's matchup between the Speedway Sparkplugs and the Crawfordsville Athenians. Speedway High School, its administration, and athletic department would like to take this opportunity to welcome our guests from Crawfordsville High School. Restrooms are located on the second level of the gym behind the American flag, and also on the first level of the school in the hallway opposite the team benches. The concession stand is open on the second level at the south end of the gymnasium opposite the American flag. In the spirit of sportsmanship and education-based athletics, we ask for all attending today's contest to act responsibly and courteously to those around them. Negative language and inappropriate behavior will not be tolerated. Please give the players, officials, and coaches the respect they deserve. Thank you for being a good sport. Speedway High School is proud to have Select Physical Therapy as its provider of sports medicine services. The Sparkplugs would like to thank and acknowledge team doctors and athletic trainers from Select Physical Therapy that provides significant and great care for our student athletes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can you please rise and remove your hats to honor America with the playing of our national anthem, performed this afternoon by the Speedway High School Pep Band. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's ball game. First, for the Crawfordsville Athenians. At guard, a 5'4" senior, number 12, Olivia Reed.
So once again, Olivia Reed, 5'4" senior, number 12. Number 13, Kirsten Hutchins, 5'7" senior. Number 21, Liddy McCarty, a 5'5" senior. Shea Williamson, number 22, once again the leading scorer and rebounder, a 5'4" senior, and Taylor Abston, forward, 5'9" sophomore. Once again, they're coached by Tyler Smith.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Speedway Lady Sparkplugs. At guard,
For the Lady Sparkplugs, 5'6" senior, number 4, Melinda Bryant. Also at guard, 5'5" sophomore, Chloe Ellett. At guard, number 23, Camille Perry. Number 11, Daniela Galvez, a 5'9" sophomore. Number 11 and 32, Alex Delisle rounding out the lineup, a 5'11" sophomore. Head coach is Joe Smith.
Today's officials, Janet Beaker, Paul Bean, and Rick Foley. It's time for Speedway basketball.
Tip goes to the Sparkplugs, Daniela Galvez, Camille Perry, Chloe Ellett. Hit the support on the basket, so it'll be Crawfordsville ball out of bounds. Sparkplugs with a 2-1-2 press that Coach Smith talked about in his pregame. Field goal by number 13, Kirsten Hutchins. Ball quickly down the court and to Alex Delisle, and she scores for the Sparkplugs. Steal by Alex Delisle. Delisle scores again, and the Plugs lead 4-2. We're going to have a foul on Daniela Galvez, her first. Team's first. Zone defense underneath the basket for the Sparkplugs. Galvez with the rebound. A three-point shot attempt. Camille Perry resets the offense. 1-2-2 zone for Lady Athenians. Ellett from the corner is no good. And a travel called as she lost her footing on the baseline. Alex Delisle. Crawfordsville works the 2-on-2 press. Sparkplugs now set their defense. Three-pointer. Olivia Reed. Delisle misses a shot inside, gets her own rebound. Goes out to Perry. Melinda Bryant with a three-pointer miss. Delisle with a rebound. And we're going to have a foul. Number 21, Liddy McCarty, I believe. Correction on Olivia Reed, number 12. Steal by the Lady Athenians. Missed a layup, and it's going to be Sparkplug ball. Crawfordsville leads 5-4 with 5:46 remaining in this first quarter. Melinda Bryant from the corner, no good. Delisle with a rebound, puts it back and gets fouled. Number 13, Kirsten Hutchins. Alex Delisle will go to the line for the Sparkplugs. Misses the first. And misses the second. We're going to have a foul on Camille Perry. Her first. Turnover by the Lady Athenians. Sparkplug ball out of bounds. Now a little 1-3-1 trap that Coach Smith was talking about prior to the game. Ball goes out of bounds, but it'll remain in the Speedway end. Chloe Ellett to inbound the ball for the Sparkplugs. Inbounds to Camille Perry. Daniela Galvez with a shot inside, and she hits it. The Sparkplugs regain the lead, 6-5. Once again, that 2-1-2 press. Good ball movement on the part of the Lady Athenians. Three-point shot attempt, no good. The ball will remain in Crawfordsville's hand as Daniela Galvez slipped. Foot hit the out of bounds line. Ball in the hands of Shea Williamson. Crawfordsville inbounds the ball underneath their own basket. Williamson with a three-point shot attempt. Camille Perry comes down with a rebound. Into the ball game for the Sparkplugs, Genesis Austin, number 14, and Audrey Wendell, number 24, replacing Chloe Ellett and Melinda Bryant. Kirsten Hutchins with a shot missed, brought down by Audrey Wendell. Brings it the length of the court, gets a shot, but is fouled. The foul is on 21, Liddy McCarty. Her first, the team's third. Audrey Wendell will be at the line for 2 free throws for the Sparkplugs. Good form, good shot by Audrey. The second goes as well. Sparkplugs' 8th point as they lead 8-5 with 3 minutes 20 seconds remaining in this first quarter. A steal by Audrey Wendell. Ball goes ahead to Camille Perry. Back out to Wendell. Shoots a three-pointer short. Ball comes up in the hands of Olivia Reed to Shea Williamson. She misses. Wendell gets the rebound. Turnover by the Sparkplugs. Crawfordsville inbounds to Williamson. Back to Reed. Kirsten Hutchings for her second field goal and her 4th point. Pass goes from Delisle into Daniela Galvez, who loses control of the ball. Goes back to Crawfordsville. Shea Williamson on the drive. Off to Olivia Reed. And she hits another three. That's her second three of the first quarter. And Crawfordsville has recaptured the lead 10-8. Wendell on the shot. No good. Ball goes out of bounds. Be Crawfordsville ball. Chloe Ellett returns to the lineup, replacing Daniela Galvez. Speedway will employ a different press this time. Man-to-man press. Good hustle by Chloe Ellett to get back and prevent the layup by Shea Williamson. Steal by the Sparkplugs. Turnover by Alex Delisle. goes into Shea Williamson. Drives against Ellett. A steal by Delisle. She hands off to Wendell for the field goal. And that's Audrey's 4th point in the game. And the score is tied. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go in this first quarter. Foul on Audrey Wendell. Her first, the team's third. Both teams with 3 fouls at this point in the first quarter. Inbounds goes to Kirsten Hutchings. Misses the shot. Camille Perry comes up with it for the Sparkplugs. Drives. Ball rolls over the front and off the side. Speedway once again with a man-to-man defense. Crawfordsville going to play for the last shot of the first quarter with the score 10-10. Drops it off to Williamson. Back to Kirsten Hutchings. The shot was blocked. The score at the end of the first quarter is going to be 10-10. Only 5 different players have scored this first quarter with combined both teams. For the Sparkplugs, Daniela Galvez has 2 points. Audrey Wendell has 4 points. Alex Delisle has 4 points. For the Crawfordsville Athenians, Olivia Reed has 6 points on 2 3-pointers. Kirsten Hutchings has 4 points on 2 field goals. So we're 10-10 at the end of the first quarter. In a game that 3-point spread was the most of any team in that quarter. Coming back into the lineup for the Sparkplugs is Daniela Galvez replacing Alex Delisle. The ball will belong to the Lady Athenians as we start this second quarter. Reed inbounds it to Shea Williamson, leading scorer, who was held scoreless that first quarter. And Reed, who had hit 2 3-pointers previously, misses that one, and it'll be the Sparkplugs ball out of bounds. Zone defense employed by the Lady Athenians. The ball goes to Chloe Ellett over on the sideline. She gets it to Camille Perry, who takes the baseline jumper and hits it. And that's Perry's first field goal. Camille, the leading scorer at 11.4 for the Sparkplugs. Three-point shot attempt by Kirsten Hutchings, no good. Melinda Bryant with the rebound. Camille takes it the length of the court, and she's fouled. Olivia Reed picks up her second foul. Camille Perry will be at the line for the Sparkplugs. Camille misses her first free throw. Audrey Wendell and Alex Delisle return to the lineup. Perry hits her second free throw, so the Sparkplugs now 1 for correction, 3 for 6 from the free throw line. On the game, Camille Perry with a steal. And gets a layup for her 5th point of the quarter. And the Plugs lead 15-10. Man-to-man full court pressure by the Sparkplugs. Perry with the steal, Galvez with the drive, and hits. And a timeout taken by the Lady Athenians as the Sparkplugs jump out to 7 straight points this quarter. In a little less than a minute and a half of this quarter, they've taken over a lead 17-10 with 2 points from Daniela Galvez and 5 points from Camille Perry. Something we'll watch the rest of this quarter is Olivia Reed, the leading scorer right now for Crawfordsville Athenians, has picked up her 2nd foul. So be interesting to see whether coach Tyler Smith has her sit some this quarter or leaves her in. Full court pass to Shea Williamson gives her her first 2 points of the quarter. We're going to have a foul on Alex Delisle, her first. Team's 4th. Both teams now with 4 personal fouls. They have a travel on the Athenians. It'll be Sparkplugs ball on the turnover. 17-12 now the score with 6:09 remaining in this quarter. Screen set for Camille Perry. She drives baseline, around and out. Rebound by Alex Delisle, misses. Delisle comes down, and we've got a jump ball, I believe. And the ball will remain with the Sparkplugs. Ball tossed into Delisle. She misses the shot right in front. Galvez gets a rebound, misses. Perry with the rebound and puts it back. So 3 offensive rebounds for the Sparkplugs. And they score, making it 19-12. Reed from the corner with an air ball. Delisle with the rebound, brings it down court. Misses the layup. Sparkplug sticking with a man-to-man defense. Williamson drives, ball knocked out of her hand. Over to Hutchings, she misses. Wendell comes down with a rebound, knocked out of her hands. Perry with a steal. Slips between 2 players with a great job and hits the layup and gets fouled.
Athenian foul, number 13, on the line for Sparkplugs.
9 points for Camille Perry this quarter. And now 10 points in the quarter for Camille Perry. The Sparkplugs lead 22-12. Shea Williamson on the drive, backdoor cut, a nice move by Olivia Reed. That's her 8th point in the game. Perry with the bad pass. Shea Williamson on the drive. We're going to have a foul on Audrey Wendell, and that'll be her 2nd. Being joined by Dan Mazzariu, the long time boys assistant coach here. The boys Speedway Sparkplugs, also been an assistant in football for many years, also the golf coach, the master of all.
Well, sorry it took so long to get here, Smitty, but a little practice and a little team meeting just with the boys to kind of keep their spirits up since we've lost some games here in a row, but looking forward to watching the girls play. I haven't had a chance to see them play much this year.
Well, you probably watched Camille Perry before. She's the one that makes them go, and she's got 10 points this quarter. First quarter ended with a 10-10 score. It's now 22-14. Alex Delisle with a missed 3-point shot attempt.
Yeah, Camille is kind of like I said, the spark plug that makes that engine go. I know she's the career steals leader, but she does a great job of getting another steal by her right there.
Right on cue.
Yeah.
And Genesis Austin with the basket with the assist from Camille Perry. 24-14. Ball with Taylor Abston.
Another one.
Pass is stolen by Camille Perry. She dishes off to Chloe Ellett, and Ellett misses but is fouled. Camille Perry not only is the leader in steals, she is very unselfish when it comes to going to the basket.
She does a great job. She, as quick as she is, she can get around the defenders, get into the lane, and makes good decisions for the most part of getting the ball to her teammates. Pretty decent crowd here today, Smitty, for a Saturday afternoon game.
Chloe Ellett hits the second of 2 free throws. 25-14. Olivia Reed with 8 points in the game, handles the ball out front. To Widmer, back to Reed. To Shea Williamson. Inside to Widmer. She misses. Put back up and missed. The ball's going to end up with the Sparkplugs.
So it's a good defensive quarter so far for the Plugs. If you were correct, it was 10-10 at the end of the quarter, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, so only giving up 4 points so far in the quarter.
Turnover by the Sparkplugs.
I think, again, from the limited games I've seen, when the girls get their defense going, it really helps their offense.
A little sloppy right now.
Yes, it is.
Overabundance of turnovers. And a good pass from Shea Williamson, but it fumbled, and Plugs get the ball. Perry comes the other way. A nice rebound by Genesis Austin. Daniela Galvez gets her shot blocked.
Oh, she traveled.
She did travel. Rebound with Delisle.
Need a good offensive set here. Like you said, it's kind of been sloppy the last couple of minutes. Need a good offensive set. Come up with a good look at the basket. Run a little time off the clock. Let everybody catch their breath a little bit.
Daniela Galvez on the drive, misses. Genesis Austin gets the offensive rebound, but is called for traveling.
Good hustle. Just couldn't keep that pivot foot down.
Genesis, a freshman, and into the game replacing Daniela Galvez is Audrey Wendell, who's also a freshman. So the Sparkplugs now with 1 senior, 2 sophomores, and 2 freshmen on the floor.
Get that, Camille. Good.
Another steal by Camille. Short jump shot. She scores again. 3-point shot attempt once again hits the basket support. That shot by Shea Williamson. Once again, before the game, we mentioned she's our leading scorer at 11.3, and she's got 2 points so far. Coming back into the game for the Sparkplugs is Melinda Bryant. And Paige Powell enters the game for the first time for the Sparkplugs. Ellett's pass.
Good idea, just not a good execution.
Right. Pass was too high for Paige Powell. Goes out of bounds, be Crawfordsville ball. Kirsten Hutchings with a shot missed. A good rebound by Audrey Wendell. Sparkplugs hustle down the court over to Melinda Bryant. A 3-point shot. No good. Perry with the offensive rebound and put back.
Good job, guy Camille. Made a good pass.
Her 14th point this quarter. She could pour in 6 more in the next 16 seconds. She'd be Lance Stevenson.
That's right, in the first quarter.
Williamson with the drive.
I don't think we're.
Field goal by Kirsten Hutchings.
Did not realize
and that completes the first half with a score: Speedway 29, Crawfordsville 16, and we'll be right back with your scoring from the first half. We are back here at Pollard Gymnasium at Speedway High School. Once again, I'm Tom Smith. I'm my sidekick, Dan Mazzariu, today for the game as a fill-in for Ron Probst, who's usually here. First half scoring for the Sparkplugs. Chloe Ellett has 1 point on 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Daniela Galvez has 4 points with 2 field goals. Genesis Austin has a field goal for 2 points. Camille Perry, no points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second quarter, 2 for 3 from the free throw line and 6 field goals. Audrey Wendell has 2 free throws and a field goal for 4 points, and Alex Delisle has 2 field goals for 4 points as well, for their total of 29. For the Lady Athenians, Olivia Reed has 2 3-pointers the first quarter and a field goal the second quarter for 8 points. Kirsten Hutchings, number 13, has 6 points for the Lady Athenians. Shea Williamson, their leading scorer, with 2 points for their total of 16. Sparkplugs and the Athenians were tied at 10 all at the first quarter. Sparkplugs outscored them 19-6 the second quarter, with Camille Perry once again coming up with 14 of those 19 points they scored in that quarter.
Well, I know that, Camille is obviously, she's what makes them go. And I don't know, I know we don't have the stat, but I know once I got here, which was probably midway through the second quarter, she had 3 steals from then on to end the quarter. So as she gets going, it's going to help everybody else because, like I said, she's very good at getting into the lane with her quickness and either scoring herself or setting her teammates up for easy buckets. So as long as she continues to do that, the Plugs should be okay.
You know, one of the things that's been frustrating to me in this game and in last night's boys game is the number of times players right around the basket don't use the glass. And you and I both know that you can stand and bank shots in and hit a lot higher percent than you can if you don't use the backboard.
Yeah, there's
and both girls and the boys have been guilty of that.
I know it's everybody loves to see the ball go through the hoop, kind of as a without the board as a swish, you know. But I tell the boys all the time, there's a greater margin of error by using that backboard.
That's absolutely.
There's a small margin of error to get the ball go through the basket without using, but if you can use the backboard, it can hit a lot of different places on that backboard and still go in. So I agree. It's like get the ball on the glass, because if you get up on the glass, it's going to have a chance to go in. And sometimes by not doing that, there's, like I said, the margin of error is very slim. So that's a great point. We said that to the boys last night. Get it on the glass. Give it a chance. I don't know, when you coached, it was also you got to get it above the rim for it to go in. And there's a lot of times, even today and in the boys' games last night, that they never get it above the rim, and it has zero chance to go in.
It's got to get
don't get it above the rim.
Ball
That's
above
right.
the rim before it has a chance to go in.
That's right.
But I know when people get offensive rebounds inside, even if you're straight away, in my opinion, you should try to bank it. But from the sideline with no backboard to go to is, I think, one of the most difficult shots. But shots when you have an angle for you younger players out there or people watching,
and I know
get to the glass anytime you can.
The younger players won't remember, and I'm sure probably some of our viewers would definitely remember Bill Walton, but he used the glass on everything and was probably one of the top 5, if not the best college basketball players just in his college career. But you're talking about a guy who knew how to use the glass, that he was one of those guys. A lot of people now, like you said, it's kind of cool if you can like finger roll it or just kind of put it over the front of the rim a little bit. But you're going to make a lot more of them if you get it on the glass.
Yeah. Unless you can dunk it. We don't see very many.
No, we don't have a lot of those.
Can dunk it. But Shea Williamson with the miss for the loose ball picked up by Taylor Abston for her first field goal of the night.
Kind of don't want to see that to start the quarter. Like that was kind of a 50-50 ball that the Plugs didn't come up with, and you always want to start quick and make sure you get those 50-50 balls.
Sparkplugs end up with a jump ball. The change of possession will go back to the Sparkplugs this time. Ball goes inside to Galvez. She shoots and misses, but gets fouled.
I think another thing, too, talking about inside play and some guys, I think sometimes in just watching the girls here tonight, if they would take that one extra dribble, get their feet all the way under them, sometimes, and the boys do the same thing, they don't get their feet all the way under them, and they're not quite on balance when they shoot the shots.
2 free throws by Daniela Galvez.
And she's
Her
big,
sixth point.
big enough and strong enough that she can take that one extra dribble and still get the ball in the basket.
Right. Near steal by the Sparkplugs. Once again in man-to-man defense. Chloe Allett on Shea Williamson, their leading scorer. I'll say this about Shea Williamson up to this point. She's been very unselfish, driving the lane and giving up the ball. It's not a matter that she shot 15 times and only hit one. Been very unselfish up to this point. We got another jump ball, and this possession will go to Crawfordsville.
Good help, but I think it was Melinda Bryant that time that dug into the post and knocked the ball out of their post players' hands. We ended up with a jump ball. Good quick hands by Daniela.
Daniela misses the layup, the offensive rebound. I'm not sure she was trying to bank that one in either, and we've just been talking about it.
It's kind of another kind of right there. If she kind of jump stops, maybe shot fakes, and gets herself gathered, she's going to score.
Alex Delisle, the leading free throw shooter on the varsity prior to this game at 69%, is 0 for 3 from the free throw line so far today.
Must have been a carryover from the boys' game last night. We couldn't hit free throws either.
Right. And as we've said on here before, and as you know, about a third of the points you're going to score can come from 15 feet away with nobody guarding you if you're a free throw shooter. And that foul's going to be on Melinda Bryant, I believe.
She did everything right until the girl at the end. She tried to reach and block the shot. She did a great job staying up front, was forced a really tough contested shot, kind of bailed her out by trying to block the shot and fouled her.
Liddy McCarty at the line hits the first and the second. 32-20 Sparkplugs, 6 minutes to go in this third quarter. Daniela Galvez on the drive.
Boy, they're getting the ball where they want to. They just can't get into the basket. Boy, she had Alex wide open underneath off that play and missed her.
You know, I think they have a play like that where they just lob it to the person behind, but that was a different play, and I don't know whether Chloe didn't realize that somebody was going to be open.
Push it. No.
I think she's checking.
Yes. She can wear contacts. Looks like she handed her contact or something to Coach Smith.
I think so. I thought maybe she'd gotten her nose hit or something. But I think you're right. I think that's her contact lens.
Yeah, it must have popped out. And good thing it was stayed on her eyelid or something. She was able to, not on the floor somewhere. Good hustle.
Coach Joe Smith takes their first time out of the game.
Good. I'm not sure of all the names of the girls. So anyway, that was good hustle. Diving on the floor and getting the ball and saving the possession for the Sparkplugs.
Yeah, that was Audrey Wendell that did that, a freshman. So in the lineup right now, 1 senior, 1 freshman, and 3 sophomores for the Sparkplugs. We talked earlier about how young, 2 seniors, 7 sophomores, and 2 freshmen on the.
Yeah, I knew they were young, but I didn't realize they were that young.
Coach Smith was saying there are no juniors in the program.
That should bode well for the future then.
So 32-20, we have 5:11 left. One of the good things about the full timeout they took is it gives Camille Perry a little more time to get her contact back in and get back in the gym.
Yeah, it looks like she went to the training room with Andrew to get that taken care of.
Ball inbounded by Audrey Wendell to Chloe Ellett.
I heard Coach.
Delisle back into Galvez, misses the shot right out in front, gets the rebound. Ball reversed, knocked out of bounds by Crawfordsville.
I heard Coach Smith yell out a play earlier, replace, and it's a play that both programs, boys and girls, run against the zone, and gets the ball in the post. They haven't quite done that yet.
Good ball movement on the part of the Plugs. Galvez with a 15-foot jumper, and that's good. Her 4th point in this quarter, 8th point in the game.
Good offense there. They swung the ball side to side, made the zone shift, and then opened up the high post for Danielle and hit a nice little jump shot there, just like shooting a free throw. Well, they're doing a good job in their man-to-man defense, staying in front of people, making everything contested for Crawfordsville.
Jump ball, and it'll go back to Speedway on the alternate possession. Into the game, Camille Perry and Austin Genesis, replacing Melinda Bryant and Chloe Ellett. So for the Sparkplugs, Galvez, Delisle, Austin, Wendell, and Perry. Zone defense.
Good pass.
Nice
Camille.
pass from Camille to Austin Genesis, but she misses the layup.
Everything but the basket, Smitty. Everything but the basket. Good offensive set.
Yes. And we've got a foul on 24, Audrey Wendell, her 3rd. Liddy McCarty goes to the free throw line.
No, you said Austin's a freshman, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
McCarty misses her first free throw. She's now 2 for 3 this quarter from the free throw line. Plugs lead by 14, 34-20 with 3:35 remaining in this 3rd quarter. McCarty hits the next free throw.
Double replace. Here we go. Nice. See how do we do with this set. Got everything they wanted, just couldn't finish.
Wendell misses. And that's going to be her 4th foul, I believe.
Good job of penetrating the zone and had a nice shot. Just didn't, a little overzealous trying to get a rebound.
And you see that happen sometimes when you make a mistake, or you go back and you foul.
Yeah.
After you made one mistake, you make it into 2 mistakes. That ball's going to go to the Sparkplugs.
Like you said, it's the 22 for Crawfordsville, their best player. They've done a really good job of bottling her up and forcing her into that turnover, basically.
we said prior to the game several times, she's not only the leading scorer, she's also their leading rebounder.
Athenian foul on number 21, Liddy McCarty.
Foul on Liddy McCarty, her second, the team's third. Perry will inbound it. Reed with the three-pointer, no good. Delisle with a rebound.
Get it to a guard. Oh.
Shot from Galvez, no good. 34-21, the score. Once again, the leading scorer in the game is Olivia Reed, or for Crawfordsville is Olivia Reed. And a putback by Taylor Abston for her fourth point of the game.
Need to get Camille going here a little bit. She's had to go out with her contact, but I'd like to see her. She can penetrate that zone and get the people in easy areas for buckets. A little bit of a lull here for the Plugs offensively.
We've got a foul on Chloe Ellett.
Again, I know it's hard, but man, you got this girl. She doesn't have her dribble left. You got her in a really bad position, and you bail them out with a foul trying to steal the ball. She has nothing that she can do. She's probably going to turn it over, and you just got to be patient enough as a player to not.
Alex Delisle deflects the ball out of bounds. It'll remain with Crawfordsville on the sideline. Chloe Ellett comes down with a rebound.
Good pass.
Pass to Alex Delisle.
Great job. Penetrated the zone and got it down to Alex on the block for an easy bucket.
Neil Perry. Back to Reagan Hendry. A shot blocked. Chloe Ellett comes up with it, and they'll reset their offense. Ellett with the drive. Genesis Austin with the rebound. Reagan Hendry in the corner, no good. Delisle.
Good rebound. Really good rebound. Just
got the ball knocked away. Shea Williamson down the other end, misses. And that's going to be Crawfordsville ball.
Athenian substitution, number 11, Elise Whitmer.
Elise Widmer enters the lineup for Lady Athenians.
all right, Camille.
Good block out. Camille comes down with the ball.
That one, not a real good decision by Camille that time. Kind of got herself positioned where she couldn't do anything. If she had stopped at the free throw line.
Genesis Austin with the steal.
There you go.
Stops the shot right out in front we talked about a little bit ago.
Great decision there. Just couldn't get it to go down.
We went from scoring 19 points in the second quarter to 7 points in this quarter.
So, yeah, that was 7-7 quarter, right? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, so. Yeah, offensively, kind of a lackluster quarter. Had plenty of opportunities and just couldn't convert. They had a lot of good shots, but just didn't get them to go down. I will say this, though. They're not allowing their offense to determine how well they're playing on defense. They're still doing a really nice job defensively. Staying in front of people. A couple of times they kind of lost their patience a little bit and bailed out with a couple of fouls, but for the most part, defensively, they've done a tremendous job.
Been a lot of turnovers on both teams. As you said, the score was 7-7 that quarter, primarily because of the turnovers by both teams.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what our shooting percentage that quarter was, but I'm sure it wasn't very good. We missed some very makeable buckets.
Yes. I saw where in the paper today where IU this week, it said that they put one of those lids on the rim because they didn't think players were aggressive enough rebounding, so that all the shots basically missed and you're going to have a rebound. And they talked about how they thought that played a part in how aggressive they were rebounding-wise against Ohio State this week. So,
well, I think he watched the game with the three-point line and the drive and kick offenses where one person is controlling the ball and a lot of the other guys are standing around the three-point line, and when the shot goes up, they kind of just still stand there. They're not in a position to really go, and that's probably that's a great idea.
Remember, I don't even know whether we have those anymore. We used to have those rims that you would put on there that had to be absolutely perfect for the ball to go in. And a nice pass from Daniela Galvez to Reagan Hendry. She misses the shot, but good effort on both parts.
Yeah, it was a really good set. Got the ball in
Daniela
great
drives, misses the layup, gets her own rebound.
Still missed it.
Misses again, but gets fouled.
Good hustle by Danielle. I'm sure she's like, how can I not get those to go down?
Daniela will go back to the line.
Now she may have, she heard us talking about offensive rebounding, Smitty. She just got two of them right there.
She's statting her.
She got two of them off her own shots.
Misses the second. Now 3 for 4 on the night. 37-23. Daniela Galvez with the steal.
Good pressure by the guards, forced a bad pass.
Once again, she didn't get to the backboard there.
Kind of
Once again, a mistake and then compound it with another mistake.
She did a great job on the steal, but what I would have liked to seen her do there was kick the ball to Camille, let Camille get to the middle of the floor and let Daniela fill the lane down to the block.
You remember back in the 70s when I was coaching you, my college coach, Tate Slock, would say you never see a battleship leading the Navy into battle. It's the smaller ships that are doing it. And that was the case there.
Yeah.
Ball goes into Genesis Austin to Melinda Bryant. She misses. Austin with a rebound. Puts it back in for a basket. Genesis Austin has 4 points.
I think they're listening to us, Smitty. Since we've talked about offensive rebounds, we've gotten 3 of them now. Good play by Camille. That's a smart play to throw it down to your end. So if you don't get it, it goes out of bounds, you can still get your defense set. Good hustle and a smart play by her. Just couldn't quite catch up to it. Oh, good hustle.
Good hustle with Reagan Hendry.
That's what you like to see. Playing hard.
Reagan Hendry is
played
in the JV game and is out here playing hard in a varsity game, and credit to her. Reagan's another of the sophomores, part of the varsity. A steal by Genesis Austin, a freshman.
That's it.
That time gets the ball to Camille.
Yep. Another offensive rebound.
And a steal by Elise Widmer.
Defensively, the Plugs are still doing a really nice job, forcing a lot of turnovers with their pressure.
Melinda Bryant comes up with a rebound.
Get a good set
Neil
here,
Perry,
girls.
Reagan Indry.
Oh, no. Cross court. That's, yeah, get a good set. Take a breath. Make them guard you. Work.
Shot went into Danielle, and I think she thought she was going to have a wide open shot there and got blocked from behind.
Yeah,
Plugs lead by 16.
Sometimes when you kind of forget you get the ball inside in the zone, there's going to be people coming at you from everywhere. Good pass by Camille. Nice.
Genesis Austin with a pass to Melinda Bryant, missed the shot. Daniela gets the rebound and comes up short on the putback. I was just thinking, they've had a long string without free throws, timeouts.
Yeah.
I think both teams are a little gassed right now. Ball goes inside to 13, Kirsten Hutchings, and she scores. And the Sparkplugs take a timeout.
Kind of the first series in a while defensively, the Plugs broke down. Danielle lost her man and ended up with a layup. But for the most part, they've been doing a really good job. They can force some turnovers. They just haven't been able to convert them at the other end. I think, if they even converted half of them, this game would probably be out of reach right now.
And that's my guess, is what Coach Smith is telling them right now. The opportunities they've had this quarter, they have outscored Crawfordsville 3-2 this quarter, and the quarter's almost half over, with only 3 points being scored, but been a lot of turnovers, missed shots, a lot of running up and down the court with not much productivity.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Smith, like you said, has talked about it's like, let the girls know, listen, we're in the lead here. We need to make sure we have good offensive possessions. They just scored, didn't they? It's our ball. It's white. The officials got things mixed up here. It should be Speedway's ball. There we go. Somebody figured it out.
Well, I know the official on this side was waving, you're all down at this end, meaning it was Speedway's ball. A little pressure now.
Oh, man-to-man now.
Out of their zone. Man now.
And this is when you need a really good offensive series. Make them guard you. Work to get the best shot you can. You're in the lead.
Daniela Galvez travels.
Kind of hate those unforced turnovers.
So once again for the lineup for the Sparkplugs, we've talked about how young they are right now. A freshman, 3 sophomores, and 1 senior. And that's going to be a foul on Alex Delisle, her second. And we'll send Kirsten Hutchings to the free throw line for the first time today.
Oh, got the shooter's roll right there.
Kirsten Hutchings with 2 free throws, which gives her 10 points on the night and makes her the leading scorer for the Lady Athenians. Nice pass into Audrey Wendell from Chloe Ellett.
Great job of,
and Wendell scores.
Great job by the Plugs of getting the ball out of the basket after the free throws, getting it down the floor for an easy bucket. I think most kids, once they score, tend to relax. And if you can get the ball out of the basket and up the floor, you can get a lot of easy buckets. That was a really good job by the Plugs that time. Camille with another steal.
Takes it all the way to the rim and scores. She didn't score in the first quarter, and she didn't score in the third quarter. She's the leading scorer in the game with 16 right now.
She likes the even-numbered quarters.
Taylor Abson with the three-pointer.
Coach Smith telling him to take your time here. Again, it's got the lead. Make them guard you. He's got a set play coming up here, it looks like. We'll get to Camille to the basket. Great kick out.
Chloe Ellett misses. The rebound comes down to Audrey Wendell. She kicks out to Camille Perry, who hits the three. She now has 5 points this quarter, 19 on the night. Rebound by Audrey Wendell.
Nice pass.
Chloe Ellett misses. Wendell gets the rebound, puts it back and in.
Great job by her. She's a freshman too.
She's a freshman also.
Wow, very good.
That's her 8th point on the night.
Nice job. She made a great pass.
Kirsten Hutchings with the field goal. 48-32 with 1:40 remaining in the game.
A little bit lackadaisical by Camille there to let that steal. Good defensive series. I mean, even though they're still up 16, you can tell Crawfordsville, no one's getting, they're a lot more aggressive on the offensive end right now.
Good job by Chloe Ellett. Shea Williamson, the ball goes out of bounds. It'll remain in the hands of the Lady Athenians as they inbound it with 1:21 to go. The bad pass on the inbounds play, and the Sparkplugs will have the ball.
Great job by Chloe, denying their best player the ball, forced a turnover. Bounce. Good. I would have liked to seen her make a bounce pass there. It almost didn't get through, but great job by Camille getting into the lane.
Camille with an assist. Alex DeLisle with a field goal, her 9th point. Going to be Crawfordsville ball as it went out off Alex DeLisle.
Well, another good win, even though it's still just under a minute to go for the Plugs. I'm sure it'll make dinner tonight at the Smith household much better.
Yeah. It's always the case. You've coached enough and I've coached enough to know that that's the case. Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, it always tastes better.
It does. It always
when you're coming
tastes
off a
much
win.
better after a victory.
Athenian foul on number 22, Shea Williamson.
Shea Williamson with the foul, her first.
Camille Perry.
Camille Perry at the line. Perry now 3 for 5 from the line on the night.
Now, just good, solid defense, girls. No fouls. Keep the clock running.
Kirsten Hutchings with her own rebound. The rebound now pulled down by Camille Perry.
At the Purdue double stack delay.
That's going to be the ball game, and the Sparkplugs are going to win 51-35. And we'll be right back with the scoring and interviews with Coach Joe Smith and his 2 seniors, Melinda Bryant and Camille Perry. We'll be right back.
Shortly after the game is ended, fans of both teams not to congregate on the floor and
back here at Morris Pollard Gymnasium, where the Sparkplugs have successfully won a ball game here on a Saturday afternoon, 53-35 over the Crawfordsville Athenians. Let's talk about scoring first for the Athenians. Our leading scorer in the game was Kirsten Hutchins with 12 points. Olivia Reed had 8. Taylor Ebston had 7. Shea Williamson, their leading scorer, 11.3 points per game, was held to 5 tonight. And Liddy McCarty had 3 for their total of 35. The leading scorer in the game for the Sparkplugs, as the game as well, was Camille Perry, who unusually had 14 points in the second quarter, 6 points in the third quarter for her 20. Alex Delisle and Danielle Galvez, 2 sophomores, both had 9 points. Audrey Wendell, a freshman, had 4 points. Genesis Austin, a freshman, 4. And Chloe Ellett, a sophomore, with 1 for their total of 53. Coach, a good win for the Sparkplugs. They've got a tough game coming up this Thursday against Sheridan, who has a really good, they're ranked, I think, in the top 10 in the state in 2A, or maybe single A, I guess it may be. But one of the better teams in the state coming up this Thursday here at home. Thoughts on?
Well, I thought tonight, and I haven't seen them play that much this year, but I've seen them play probably a little more zone in the games I saw. And tonight, I thought they played really, really well in their man-to-man defense. Obviously, they took Crawfordsville leading scorer out of the game a little bit, made things really tough on her. So kudos to the girls that were guarding her. But as everybody knows, defense is a team concept, so everybody needs to help. If somebody's helping, you need to help her. So I was impressed with their defense tonight. They caused a lot of turnovers, and Camille does a great job when people get in bad positions. She has a knack for stealing the basketball, and when you can get your defense to convert the offense, I think you see in Camille's points, that's going to make everything go and make it much easier on everybody else on the offensive side. So that was what I take away. I thought they did a great job defensively tonight. And as we even talked in the second half, we started talking about offensive rebound. I thought the Plugs did a really good job of starting to get a lot of offensive rebounds in. So a real good win. And like I said, it's a good tune-up for a very tough game coming up this Thursday night with Sheridan. So.
Well, we'll be right back. We're going to interview Coach Joe Smith and the 2 seniors when we come back.
Well, before we go, can we stop before we go? Because I'm just a substitute for Mr. Probst and that. But I did want to say something publicly on the air. I wanted to let Mr. Smith was a coach of mine. He was a teacher, and he's been a great friend. And I know he's got a big birthday coming up. And I just wanted to wish him publicly happy birthday, Smitty.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm going to go on a limb here. I think this will be 7-5. Is that right?
This will be 3/4 of a century.
Yes, 7-5. So, like I said, I just wanted to make sure I kind of put that out there publicly that because like I said, we're great friends. He was a teacher for me here, and he was a coach, and we coached together. And we have a lot of fun together, but I just wanted to make sure I put it out there. So happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll be right back once again with an interview from Coach Joe Smith, as well as Camille Perry and Melinda Bryant. We are back here at Speedway High School where the Lady Sparkplugs successfully defeated the Crawfordsville Athenians 53-35 this afternoon in a varsity basketball game here. I'm going to start. My far left is Coach Joe Smith, who we talked to before the game, then Melinda Bryant, and next to me, Camille Perry, two seniors that we want to talk to after we get done questioning Coach Joe Smith or getting his thoughts on the game anyway. Coach, you talked in the pregame about the importance of stopping Shea Williamson or at least slowing her down. She had a total of 5 points, I think, in the game. A variety of players guarded her, primarily Chloe Ellett. But speak to that as what part that had to do in your victory today.
Well, I thought the key to today was our half-court and full-court man. I told you in pregame we were going to try to do some 2-1-2 full court. We did that, but, you know, it was tie game after the first quarter, and we thought, we know our man's really good. So we thought, well, let's see what it does in the full court, and it caused them a lot of problems. And Chloe did a great job on her. She was averaging, not Chloe, but Shea Williamson, 22, was averaging 12 points a game going into today's game. We held her to 5. Defensively, and offensively on the boards, we were great. It probably had a season high. We had 40 rebounds on the night or the afternoon. So we were real happy with that. Man, and our kids are just kind of learning, as I said earlier, they're playing out of instinct. And it took us a while to get to that point because we have younger kids that just aren't used to that. Our seniors are used to that, but not the younger kids, which I thought they did a good job of that today. Coach
Mazzario and I talked up here, both boys and the girls. Free throws, not using the glass. It's common among a lot of young people today about not using the glass primarily is what we want to talk about. And he was saying you can make there's a greater margin of error when you use the glass than when you don't use the glass. And a lot of offensive rebounds. I know one time he made the comment that Daniela got 3 offensive rebounds in a row or something off her own misses that were right around the basket. And we talked about to young people out there who might be watching the importance of doing that, using the glass.
Yeah, years ago I taught or coached, and one of our opponents, Bobby Carter, who used to be the head coach at Mooresville, he used to talk about angles a lot and angles on the glass. And we have some kids that do a pretty good job of that, but we have a lot that don't. And they know they should, but it's just an instinctive thing. And I think the difference is years ago, you know, if you think 20, 25 years ago, you never saw somebody float the ball in the lane, and we work on that. But I thought some of that was we were coming up short. I thought Daniela came up short a lot today, you know, not getting it over the rim, being a little bit indecisive. But trust me, we work on layups and all that stuff every day. And it's just, you know, and we talk about little details are important. And we gave our kids a sheet of paper this week because we always say the details matter. But we assume they know that. So what I did was I typed out examples of details, making a layup, knowing who you're guarding, being in help side, diving on the floor, taking a charge. Those are things that are big. Free throws are big. We tell them that there are 5 things tournament basketball we have to do well to win the sectional. We got to get half-court stops. We got to execute in the half-court well. We got to rebound. We got to maintain our composure when it gets chippy. And we got to hit free throws. And we don't want that to come back and bite us. But our kids in practice have done a better job, I think, of focusing with – we do a lot – like we'll scrimmage, and then what we'll do is we'll stop, and I'll say, all right, get to the free throw line. So they're shooting them when they're winded. And we've been up and down in that category. We've shot as high as 75% in games from the line, and other games it's been in the 40s.
Well, and you and I have talked before, free throws are just something that nobody's guarding you. And it wasn't that you shot free throws poorly today, particularly. The boys last night were 8 for 18 from the free throw line, and it's just giving away points when you miss those ones when nobody's guarding you.
Right.
One of the things Coach Mazzario pointed out, and I agreed with him, he thought that your man-to-man defense today, you had a lot of helping the helper, and it was a team defense versus one person being left out on a
and
ledge.
Our kids have – it's hard to teach switching somebody like on a screen. It's even harder to teach kids that when do you help back. So Camille and Melinda switch, but we want Melinda on a certain person that Camille ends up on. Well, our kids do a great job of communicating and knowing when that, and that's just with playing. There's not a drill you can do with that. And our kids do a good job of that. And I thought, yeah, you're right. I mean, our midline help was pretty good tonight. We got winded in some situations, and it was like, as a coach, I'm always like, okay, let's get one more bucket, and I'll call timeout. And then that bucket turns into like 2.5 minutes later, and kids are winded, and sometimes they don't help as much because they get tired.
We also talked about that very thing. We said, I think both teams are gassed right now. There was no free throws being shot. It was just up and down and up and down, and not much scoring in there, so there wasn't time with that. If you'll hand your headset to Melinda, we'll start with her with thanks and congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
You can just use that. Melinda, let's start with you. I didn't realize we had the handheld mic down here, and I thought, what are they going to talk to? You got to hand the headset to her, so that's my fault. Melinda, let's start with class schedule. Tell me, 1st through 7th period, what your class schedule is.
First period, I have weight training. Second period, I have government. Third, stats. Fourth, calculus. Fifth, AP Lit. Sixth, environmental science. And 7th, yearbook.
So how many AP classes do you have?
5.
Okay. We're going to talk about AP classes in just a minute. Tell me favorite class.
Probably calculus.
And the teacher?
Mr. Passwater.
Mr. Passwater does a great job. A lot of people talk about him being one of their favorites. AP classes, and we've said this on here before, but we haven't said it this year. AP classes are advanced placement classes. They are college curriculum classes that if you get a score of 3, 4, 5 on the test, you get college credit for, which didn't exist too many years ago. This has happened like within the last 10 years. I know years ago we didn't have those. There was no way of earning college credit. And now we'll have seniors that graduate from here with a year's worth of college when they get out. So congrats to you with 5 AP classes. Is a pretty tough schedule. I want to ask you a question. I'll ask the same questions to Camille in just a minute. But if you look at sports, and I know you're not just a varsity basketball player, you've been involved in other sports here at the high school, and not any particular coach responsible for it. There's so many lessons that sports can teach you. And I guess my question is, give me something that you feel like you've learned in sports here at Speedway High School that you won't forget, that'll be a lifelong value that you'll have that you've gained from sports.
I think just like facing adversity and just having patience to get like things back to where they were.
I used to tell my kids when they were growing up, it's not how you handle the good times that's important, it's how you handle the bad ones. Facing adversity. When it isn't the way you want it, how do you deal with it? So a great answer to the question. Last question, next year. This May, you're going to walk across the stage and get a diploma. What's in store for Melinda Bryant?
Hopefully I'll attend Purdue and study pre-PA.
Is that physical assistance?
Physician's assistant.
Physician's assistant. Yeah, I knew that. I said physical. I knew it was physician's assistance. 10 years from now, what's Melinda Bryant going to be doing?
Hopefully working and starting a family.
Kids? How many are you going to have?
I don't know.
You come from a family of not just a single child, but good for you. Purdue, great school. We have a lot of kids from this high school that go to Purdue. So congratulations up to this point on your athletic career. I know it's not done yet, but congratulations up to this point, and congratulations on being an example of what a student athlete is.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Camille, you're up next. Talk to us about your class schedule.
First period I have AP Chem. Second period I have ceramics. Third I have AP Stats. Then I have weight training. Then I have AP Government. Then AP Psych. And then I have AP Language.
So you too have 5 AP classes.
Yes, sir.
So what you're seeing here is people who are students who happen to be athletes, not athletes who happen to be students, because the load both of you are taking with 5 AP classes is a heavy, heavy load. And congratulations to you, like I said to Melinda earlier. Favorite class of all those?
I think my favorite class is AP Government. Mr. Ty does a great job of putting a lot of things into perspective and getting us to understand what he's talking about. So.
Good observation as well. Something you have learned from high school sports?
I think I've learned leadership and mentorship coming up from my freshman year to now. There's a lot of older girls keeping my head straight and teaching me, basically building my character, and the coaches did a lot of that too. So as I go on, I want to help. And this year I have done that too, helping the younger kids understand what's going on and keeping their head on straight, just like, the older girls did me.
We talked up here that I don't think there's any doubt, and I don't think anybody could argue with this, that you're the one that kind of makes this basketball team go. Mm-hmm. I know you've played more minutes than anybody else by far. The team, how Camille goes, so goes the team, which is important. You don't get in foul trouble and all those kind of things. But just like today in the second quarter, we made a comparison to you and Lance Stevenson the other night in the Pacer game when he scored 20 points in a quarter. You had 14 in a quarter that kind of got a 10-10 into the first quarter, into a lead at halftime. That doesn't mean you have to be the one scoring. Mm-hmm. And we talked up here about the fact how unselfish you are, mm-hmm. which is important also. Which leads me to the next point. Next year, you're going to continue playing basketball. Mm-hmm. I went to a thing the other day at Paul Neidig, the head of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, said 3% of people who are involved in athletics in high school play at the next level. The next level being any level of college, junior college, NAIA, Division 1, 2, 3, so on. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be in one of those 3%. Mm-hmm. You had to work awful hard to get to that point, haven't you?
Yep.
And I would say congratulations to that.
You.
5, where are you going to go to school? We've already said it on the air, but you tell us where you're going to go to school.
I'm thinking about going to Franklin College.
Thinking about, or that's where you're going?
That's probably where I'm going.
Okay. And to continue her athletic career in college, which is very 3%. Mm-hmm. So hope you realize you're in a pretty elite group doing that. Don't let that give you a big head, because I don't think you have one now. But congratulations on that part. What are you going to major in?
I want to major in health science and further my career. I want to continue into basketball, but I'll get into health science and become, like a trainer or something like that. So I want to keep it going in the sports maybe.
Okay. Well, congratulations to both of you. We talked up here the fact that there's 2 seniors, there's 7 sophomores, and 2 freshmen. And the leadership part of it that you talked about has fallen to both of you. And I want to, first of all, congratulate you for doing that and tell you to keep doing that. The season's not over, and there will be some more ups and downs in this roller coaster ride before the season ends. And so much of the success of the basketball team will rely on the leadership they get from you. And coaches as well, but oftentimes players look to other players who have been there and done that kind of thing as to how we act, what we do, how we prepare. So congratulations. It makes me proud to talk to both of you, because you're both good students. You've challenged yourself academically here, which isn't done all the time by all students, as we well know. And you've both been successful in what you've done athletically. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach, on today's win and the 2 girls. Once again, this is Tom Smith, and I appreciate you watching. Today we also want to thank Brian Pierce, Bill P., and Bill Stennett, who have been on the cameras and brought this game to you. Once again, the Sparkplugs come away with a victory 53-35 over the Crawfordsville Athenians. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.